This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, in today's session, we're going to discuss about the Python Pandas data frame. If anyone asks about what is Pandas data frame, you have to say it's a two-dimensional data frame. Okay, it contains only rows and columns. As well as the pandas data frame size is mutable. Mutable means you can able to change the size. You can keep you can change three instead of 3 rows you can have 10 rows or n number of rows you can keep and n number of columns you can keep. That's what the size is mutable. And then you can able to handle the heterogeneous tabular data structures. Heterogeneous tabular data structures. You can keep all kind of data like string, int, float. Okay, that's what they're saying. It's potentially a heterogeneous tabular data structure. Not only you can keep string, you can keep string value, float value, double values, int values. Okay, boolean values also you can keep in this part of the data frame. We can have the labeled access with the help of rows and columns. Help of rows and columns. We can using rows you can able to filter. You can perform some joins, and then you can merge the two data frames. What are things you are performing the SQL? The same thing you can able to do in this pandas data frame. Merging, joining, or filtering, and then doing multiple unconditions or conditions. You can do everything in the data frame. It consists of principal components. First one is data, and then rows and columns. Okay, if it follows under the three principal components, then we can say it's a data frame. The data frame should have your data and rows and columns. It's one of the two-dimensional mutable size, two-dimensional data frame. It contains only rows and columns. Okay. Um, like whatever you're performing the SQL, the same thing you can do in the pandas data frame. Now I'm going to say what is pandas. Pandas is mostly a software library for to perform any data manipulations and analysis. You want to do any analysis or data manipulations. Data manipulations means after joining, you want to do some calculations. You can perform this part of data frame, as well as you want to filter some records. Everything you can do in this pandas data frame. As well as you can perform the numerical table manipulations. If, for example, if your data frame as having numerical values, you can perform the manipulations, as well as you can able to handle the time series data. Time series data in the sense like a stock market will be based on time will vary, right? As well as if you take Bitcoin values will change, it depends on time, right? All the, you can perform the time series analysis and stock market predictions. Every analysis can be done in the pandas data frame. Okay, and then it has various inbuilt features in this pandas data frame. As well as pandas data frame will have a set of inbuilt methods to perform any kind of data manipulations. And then you can perform the multivariate data manipulations. Multivariate data manipulation in the sense already said in the data frame. Data frame you can have string, int, float, double. Okay, and then you can perform all kind of multivariate data manipulations. And then you can have the index in SQL. You will keep some index, right? The same thing you can perform indexing in data frame. You can keep on column name. That column name will be indexed for all the rows. You can keep indexing in this pandas data frame. As well as you can able to merge the two pandas data frame by performing some job, by performing unions. Okay, you can able to. And then if you want to manipulate from both data sets, you can perform joins. And then this pandas data frame has having the in-memory data structure. Everything is going to give in memory. Okay, going to give memory, as well as it's going to perform the manipulation as well as analysis. And then pivoting also can be done in the data frame. Pivoting means you want to convert rows into columns and columns into rows. You can do pivoting and pivoting also you can able to do in this part of data frame. As well as the reshaping of data frame also you can do. Instead of for example, I have 3 rows 2 columns. if I want to change 5 rows to 10 columns, I can able to change. I can able to do the reshaping as well as I can able to do the pivoting. Pivoting means rows into columns and columns into rows. I can able to do. Okay, and then I can take a subset of data set from a large data set. I can take a subset of data set. I can able to perform as well as same in SQL query you will perform index insertion deletion, right? The same thing you can perform in the pandas data frame. You can able to perform insertion as well as deletion, as well as next feature is going to be group by. In SQL you use group by statement. Same thing you can perform in the pandas data frame using group by. You can group some columns and then you can able to aggregate some values. You can able to perform some aggregation as well. Merging, joining, all kind of functionalities you can able to do, and then data filtration. Okay, based on the date you can able to filter some records, and then you can have some windowing techniques you can perform in the pandas data frame, like what I perform in the SQL, right? Like windowing functions, the same windowing functions also apply over here. For example, date range generations. In time series functionality you have to display some various range of data dates, as well as frequency conversion, windowing statistics. Okay, all kind of windowing techniques you can perform in this pandas data frame. And then lag, lead, everything, data shifting also you can able to do, data filtration, all kind of features are available in this library. And then this pandas data frame can able to handle the all kind of data sets. It can able to handle comma separated value data sets, JSON, Parquet, SQL, data tables, and Microsoft Excel, JSON. Okay, JSON, XML, any kind of data set it can able to handle. This pandas whatever can able to handle. Most of the things in data manipulation we will do is merging. Data manipulation in the sense we'll do merging, reshaping. Reshaping means instead of, for example, if I want to increase the rows, I want to increase the columns, you can do the reshaping. And then reshaping is nothing but if I have 10 rows, I want to convert 10 rows into 5 rows, I can able to do the reshaping and selecting only set of records, subset of records, data cleansing, data wrangling, all kind of data manipulations can be done in this pandas data frame. And then the various file formats are JSON, Parquet file format, SQL database tables, and CSV file, Excel file, a DAT file, any kind of flat file formats you can able to handle, as well as you can able to handle the semi-structured data formats as well, like Parquet. Okay, like not Parquet, JSON is semi-structured data. And then like big data file formats are called Parquet we can use, and then directly can use SQL tables I can able to handle. All these things can be able to we can do in the pandas data frame. Pandas data frame mostly used by the data scientist people as well machine learning engineers. Okay, for most of the time they are doing the data analysis part, and then they are doing some manipulations based on the past history of data. They will do some predictions as well as analysis they will do. At the time they need this pandas data frame. It's one of the in-memory data frame. It's one of the in-memory data frame, and then it won't take much memory for creating a pandas object. When compared to Spark data frame, this pandas data frame is very lighter, and it won't take it won't take that much memory. Okay, that's what, if you are not able to do anything in the Spark data frame, you can do in the Spark data frame. After doing Pandas data frame, you can convert Pandas to Spark data frame. Okay, all this kind of things will be available. Now I'm going to show a few implementations. Okay, this yeah, I will show few implementation. This pandas class will go like around 10 to 12 days. Okay, we're going to see various things like analysis part, as well as merging, sorting, joining, and how to filter the rows. Okay, these are things we're going to see. Pivot and pivot, you're going to see all these things. Now today session I'm going to use the Anaconda Navigator. Okay, in the Anaconda Navigator, we can able to have the set of tools for data analysis, As well for data manipulation, we can use these tools. 1 minute it will load this Anaconda Navigator. All kind of machine learning libraries and tools will be available. Software libraries are available in this Anaconda Navigator. You can able to see in this navigator. 1 minute, I think it's open. Yeah, you can see all these software libraries like you can use Glue Wizard and then Jupyter Notebook, and then you can use Jupyter Lab, IBM Watson Studio Cloud. Okay, these are the various software libraries are available, and as well as IDs are available. You can use VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Also, you can able to code the pandas, as well as you can use PyCharm. Now I going to use the Jupyter Notebook. It's a web-based and interactive computing notebook environment. So I am choosing this Jupyter Notebook to create a Panda data frame. Just go to New and then click on the Python 3 interactive Python kernel environment. Here you can able to create a Pandas data frame. For Pandas data frame, you should import this library. It's a default library available in the Python 3. Import pandas as pd. Okay, import pandas as pd. Now what I going to do, I going to read the data from a file, and then I going to write the contents into the one of the CSV file. Yeah, what I have to do, df equal to pd dot read CSV. If you want to, if there are various methods available. For example, if you want to read HTML file, you can use read HTML. If you want to read JSON file format, you can read JSON. WARC is also available. Parquet, pickle means it's a machine learning file. Okay, machine learning model. If you want to read the content of machine learning model, you can use a pickle file. Okay, and then if you are using SAS, you can use read SAS, as well as most of the times you are using only the CSV file as well as Excel file. When compared to Excel, CSV will lightweight, and then it won't take much memory to read the contents from the CSV file. That's why you're choosing the read CSV. If you are using feather file format, you can read feather. Okay, if you are using HDFS files, if you want to read files with HDFS, you can read HDF. Okay, there are various methods available. As of now, I'm going to use read CSV. In that read CSV, I already having some set of data sets. In the machine learning, if you go somewhere, I can choose a NBA. Okay, just go to this path. Okay, go to this path and then use single quotes, and then pass the file name as though it's going to be a CSV file. Go to show more options, and then go to properties. You can able to see it's one of the CSV file, nba.csv. nba.csv I have to mention, nba.csv. Okay, if you want to see the contents, you can use head. Okay, because see here, whenever you're using single quotes, okay, whenever you're using single quotes, you are getting some syntax error. Unicode escape sequence, yeah, Unicode escape codec can't decode bytes in position 2,3. Okay, you have to provide some escape sequence. You have to provide. Okay, you have to provide some escape sequence. Then only you can able to read the contents from the file, because your interpreter will treat this hyphen as a path. Your underscore hyphen, sorry, your underscore is there, right? Not underscore. Your single quotes is there, right? Single quote, it will be treated as path. You want, if you want to avoid this thing, you have to use the escape sequences. Otherwise, your interpreter will treat this single quotes as path. Okay, for that I want to use some escape sequences. I going to use R. Now I can able to read the contents from the file. Totally I have around yeah, totally I have around how many columns? 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, if you give describe, going to give them more informations. it's going to give the statistical information about the columns. Okay, in the number column, total count will be 457. The mean value means, you know, right, if you add all the values and divide by the total number of rows, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 20 percentile value, it's going to give the values for individual columns. If you add all the edges, we are getting 457. If you add all the weight, you are getting 457 something. Okay, if you add all salary, you are getting 4.46 exponential value you're getting. Okay, now if I need information about the data frame, I can use info. Yeah, it's going to give the real information. It's going to give the column name and belong to a object type. Object type means it's going to be a string actually. Team column is going to be a object. It's going to be a string type, and number is going to be a float value, and position is going to be object string value, and age is going to be a float again, floating value, and then height is going to be a object, and then weight is going to float value. Okay, it's going to give the detailed information about the columns if you use info. Okay, fine. Now I want only first 5 records. You can use header of 5 records. You can use. You can able to see only 5 records from the data frame. If you want to see the last 5 records, what you can do? You can use tail. You can use tail command to display the last 5 records. If you want to see the first 5 records, you can use head of 5. You can able to get the first 5 records. Tail of 5 means you can able to get the last 5 records. Okay, default, if you use data frame.head, the default it's going to provide 10 rows. I think totally I want to see the size. 1 minute. Data frame dot size. Okay, sorry, data frame dot size. If you provide data frame dot size, it's going to give 4122. It's going to give 4122. 4122 records will be there available. Okay. If you use a double tap after putting dot, if you use double tap, it's going to show all the methods. Okay, what are the methods you can apply in the data frame? It will list out all the methods. Based on this, you can able to apply the methods for this. Okay, for the data frame, group by, head, histograms, iLocation, location insert, all this kind of methods you can able to avail in this data frame. 1 minute, I am putting head of 10. It's going to give 10 rows. Okay. One minute. Yeah. I'm giving info and then tail of 5, head of 5. Okay. Okay, let it be. Now, what I'm trying to do here is, in this data frame, I'm going to use one more command called set options. Data frame set options. Use tab. It's not showing anything. Okay, set flag is there, set axis is there. What about this? Yeah, I can do one thing. I want to set the option to display only 3 columns and then 4 rows. Okay, for this, what you can do, you can use pandas. Pandas having the value as PD, right? PD dot set options. In that options, you can provide the key and value. You can provide key and value. How many rows you want to display, how many columns you want to display. You can provide you can provide in the set options. It's going to display the default rows as well as default columns. It's going to provide the default row as well as default columns. Okay, now in set options I can able to provide uh, it's going to be a maximum number of rows, maximum rows, I guess. Maximum rows or maximum rows, I guess. Okay, yeah, I want to use display dot minimum rows, min rows. I want to provide it as 10. Okay, defaultly it is going to give only 10 rows, and then if I want to restrict the limit of columns, I can use set options. In the set options I can able to provide in single quotes or double quotes, you can provide display maximum columns, display maximum columns, max display dot, sorry, display dot max columns. Okay, you can provide maximum columns, you can provide 20. Okay, how many columns we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 29 columns we have, right? Now I can mention like maximum columns you can display only 10. Now if I put data frame dot head after running these things, if I put data frame dot head, it's going to give like maximum columns are given 10. Now we're going to change the column. I want to make it 4 columns as of now. Make it 4. Now you can able to see only 4 columns. Now you can able to see 4 columns. Okay. Yeah, 4 columns it's showing. If I want to minimum rows means minimum 10 rows I want to show. I don't know why it's not reflecting here. Display minimum rows. Display minimum rows are given 10. Min underscore rows. One minute. Single quote is not a matter. Only displaying around like 5 rows. Why not? Okay, if I give head of 20, it's going to display 20 rows. Okay, but if I give head, defaultly it has to give 10 rows, but it's giving only 5 rows for me. Okay, I think this minimum rows key is something wrong, I guess. Okay, I won't check. I will check it later and let you know. I think this key is wrong, I guess. Okay, if you give minimum rows, if you give head statement, okay, 10 records will be provided here. Okay, now maximum columns you can restrict over here. If you want to make it 5, you can it will display only 5 columns. It will display 5 columns. The remaining will not be shown. Okay, you can restrict the column size here. Okay, and then if you want to make it 8, yeah, for 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now you can able to see the 8 columns, right? Like this you can able to set the option in the Panda data frame, and defaultly it will display only 8 columns. If you want to display all the columns, you can give some max numbers. Okay, you can provide a max numbers, it will display all the columns, as well as I think the min rows key is something wrong, I guess. That's why it's not showing the 100 rows. If it is correct, we'll show the 100 rows for you. Okay, this is how you can able to use set options to display the minimum rows and then maximum columns you can specify here. Okay, now I already said to you, you can able to load the various file formats like CSV files, HTML, Hadoop files, SQL files, Excel files also you can able to read. And then now I'm going to read the file, Excel file I'm going to read. Before reading the Excel file, I want to show a few of the options to you. The options is going to be, for example, if I want to skip some rows, okay, if I want to skip some rows, okay, I'll use the same statement, data frame, just copy these things. Instead of df, we'll make it as data frame 1. Okay, we'll make it data frame 1 and run the script. And then if I want to skip some rows, okay, if I want to skip some rows, you can use skip rows. Okay, in the data set I have some header. Okay, if I want to skip my header, you can use skip rows equal to 1, and then df dot head. Now first rows will be skipped. Sorry, df1 dot head. Sorry, df1 dot head. Now the first row will be skip. You can see 622.8.1.0 Texas. Okay, skip rows in 1 minute. Yeah. Now you can see the difference. Instead of Averly Bradley, I getting Jack Rowder. Okay, the first row is skipped. If I want to skip first 5 rows, you can use skip rows equal to 5. Now the first 5 rows get skipped. Okay. Now if I want to skip the header, you can use header equal to none. You can use header equal to none. Now the header will be skipped. Okay. This is how you can use the various properties for skipping the rows. First 5 rows you want to skip means you can skip the skip rows, and header equal to none if you provide means the header will be skipped in the data frame. And then there are various options available. You can use double click the tab twice, and then you can see there are various options available: double quotes, data type, encoding file format, okay, escape sequences, index column, okay, whichever column you want to make it index. Okay, these are things we're going to see now. Okay, now we can see the skip rows as well as header is none. What's the next thing you can do? Okay, now we will see how to read a file from a URL. How to read a file from a URL. Okay, how to read a file from URL and convert into data frame. Okay, now I will take a pause. 1 minute. I will take a pause.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now I going to read a file from URL and convert to data frame. Okay, now what I can do, I going to read a file from the URL. Okay, URL I have kept in my notepad. Okay, if you hit this URL, you can able to see the various you can able to see two columns, country and region. Okay, yeah, I want to read the content from the URL. Okay, now what you can do, pandas dot reads, go to CSV file, read CSV, and then you have to provide the URL. Okay, you can use single quotes. In the single quotes, you can mention this URL. In the URL we have the CSV file, and then you can use df2 dot, okay, df2 dot head. I'm going to see around 20 rows. Now you can able to see the 20 rows. This is how you can able to read the content from the URL. Okay, just see the file format. If it is CSV file format, you can use CSV. If it is a HTML file format, you can read HTF. If it is JSON means you can use read JSON. Okay, as well same thing, you can want to skip some rows, you can use skip rows, and then skip rows you can use. Okay, as well as if you want to skip some footer, You can use skip footer equal to how many lines you want to skip in the footer, and then you want to blank lines. If any other blank lines is there, you can if you want to skip means you can use skip blank lines equal to true. Okay, yeah, skip blank lines equal to true. You want to mention here. T should be caps, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you want to skip some blank lines, you can use skip blank lines equal to cap. True. T should be caps. You can use true, and then you can remove some blank lines present in the data sets. Okay. Now I can able to display around 20 rows. The next thing I'm going to show like how to write a contents into the CSV file. Okay, if you want to write some contents or want to into CSV file, already the data frame is presented, right? Whatever the data present data frame, you want to write the contents into the one CSV file. For that, you have to use dot CSV function. In the function, you have to provide the path. Then you can able to write the contents whatever present in the pandas data frame. Okay, it's very simple actually. df2 dot 2 CSV. Okay, if you want to write from Excel means you have to use 2 Excel. Otherwise, you can use 2 CSV. Okay, 2 CSV can provide. In the 2 CSV, I am going to provide the path. This escape sequence. Okay, this single quote will be written as escape sequence. If you provide R, now you can able to provide the path. In the machine learning, what I going to do? I going to get one folder, new, and then make it folder as test folder. In the test folder, just copy and then paste the path and provide the CSV file name. I'm providing like sample feed.csv. Now, if you hit enter, now you can able to see the contents in your test directory. The file name is sample feed. What are content present in the data frame? You can able to write contents in the CSV file. This is how you can able to write. Okay. Okay. Okay, if you want to write the contents as a XLS file, 1 minute, if you want to read the contents as XLS file, you have to provide this method. What method? To Excel. Okay, you want to write contents in the Excel, you want to provide the XLSX. Okay, if you want to save the file in HDFS, HDF you can use. Okay, most of the Hadoop clusters they have this Python 3 library. In the Python 3 library, you can use pandas. Using pandas, you can able to directly can save the file in HDFS. You can use 2 HDF. If you want to save in HTML, you can use 2 HTML. Okay, if you want to save in LaTeX, you can use 2 LaTeX. As of now, we're going to save this file as 2 Excel. Now what happens? It start writing. It will take too much of time because it's a good time consuming as well. For if you though it's Excel is bulk file for reading and writing, it will take more time. Okay. Now you can able to see the Excel SX file. Okay. Now same thing we're going to do now. I'm going to read the contents from the which file? Excel file. df3 equal to pd dot what function I have to use? Read Excel, because I'm going to read the content from the Excel file. For escape sequence, you have to use R, and then you can provide this path. After writing, I'm going to read the contents from the same location. Now you can provide df3 dot head. Okay, it's going to give the data present in the data frame. Okay, the read function is an API. It will take the entire content from the file and convert it as pandas data frame. okay, from Fondas data frame and displaying the 5 rows. You can able to see. For example, I want to make okay in the okay 1 minute, because in while writing C file I didn't provide any header, I guess. Okay, header equal to true. If I provide header equal to true, what will happens? Well, yeah, header equal to true. T should be caps. Whenever writing content to the file, now header will be written in my XLS file. You can see. Okay, what happened? Okay, header is not present. Some other thing is present. Let's close this file. Let's come to this thing, because we have skipped the header here, right? Because we have skipped the header here. No, countries.csv. Okay. The header is going to be Angola and Africa only. Okay, I think in the URL it is not having any header. It treating the first row as header. Now we'll take this Angola and Africa is there, right? We'll take this as column names, and then we'll have the index for this. Okay. Now, comma, index column. Okay, index column. Now I going to provide the index column as 1. Index column is 1. Okay. Okay, now what happened? Again, index column is 1, because Angola is going to be 0th column, Africa is going to be the first column. For every record I have index here. For the Africa I have 0 index. For this Africa I have 1 index. Okay, if you have the index, you can iterate the records very faster. That's why we perform the indexing. When you are performing some joins or complex joins, then indexing is the best way to search the records very faster. Without indexing, what will happen? It's going to scan the rows one by one. Okay, if you have proper indexing, the querying results will be very faster in this pandas data frame. Okay, this is how you can able to provide the index column. Now, yeah, I will do one thing. Here I have like a df.head. Okay, I'm going to remove this info as of now. If I run this script, name, team, number, position, age, height, weight, college, salary. Now, which column will keep as index column now? Out of this much columns, which column is going to keep it index? Which column you choose for index? If you are choosing index column, that column value should be unique. The index column should not hold any duplicates. Out of this much columns, which column is going to keep index? We can't keep team column, because team is not having the unique value, right? Having some duplicate values. Okay, and then you can't keep number column as well, because number column 99 might be duplicated. Okay, might be duplicated. If you want to see the unique values, you can use df dot df dot distinct values. Okay, 1 minute. I'm not getting anything. Yeah, value counts. And provide the value counts. Okay, 1 minute. You can provide, yeah, number, position, age. 1 minute. Yeah. It's giving some number. See, you can provide value counts. This record present only 1 times. Okay, df dot value count, distinct value counts. Value counts. Value counts. Shift tab. Yeah. If you want to see more information about this API, you can use Shift tab. Okay, it's going to give some detailed information about the value counts. Yeah, the value counts, what it is doing here is it's giving the this record is unique, right? It's giving count as 1. This record is unique, right? It's giving 1. Okay, if all the record are same, okay, if all the record are same and then the same record appear anywhere, it will give the count as 2. That's the use of value counts. Okay, now what I going to do, I going to use a header. Okay, now I want to make weight column as index column. Okay, I going to make the weight column index column. Just make index column equal to, what's the position number? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just provide the 6 here. Okay, now the weight column is going to be your index column. You can see based on this index column you can able to filter the records very fast. Can able to filter the records very fast. And then if you are choosing the index column, that column should be a unique one. It should not contain any duplicates. If it is having duplicates, then you should not choose that should not choose as the index column. Okay, for any kind of filterings as well as joins, you can use the index column to perform the searching very faster. Okay, next what I can do, yeah, we have seen so many things. I'm going to sign up the session right now. Tomorrow we're going to see the filtering as well as how to use the LOC and IOLOC. Okay, there are various ways to filter based on the index basis as well as based on the records you can pass, can filter. Multiple conditions you're going to pass and then filter. These things we're going to see tomorrow. Okay, as of now, I am signing up the session.